Alright. Hopefully this recording's working. I think I might not go full screen just because I haven't tested that. And also, yeah, I'm going to want to be tabbing out between, because we have this list here of buffs we can get. But yeah, yeah, we're playing UHC again, and I say this before every round I play, but this time it truly has been an age. I believe the last time I touched Minecraft before today was the last Phobia season, which isn't out yet, but probably will be by the time you see this. It was a really good season. I guess I won't say how I did, but yeah, it was. The way it played out was fascinating, and the game mode was also one of the most interesting I've kind of seen. But yeah, no. So, God, so I believe that recording took place either during or right after my final module at university. So since then, I've spent a summer handing in a dissertation. Um, I've released a black metal EP with my band. There's just so much shit that's happened since I was last like here, just sort of talking. And yeah, it was. I guess I have time to get into all of that. I don't need this much sugarcane surely, but I mean, hey, some games it gives you none, and some games it gives you millions. But yeah, so just to get this out of the way, I'm not going to do well this game. I'm going to get no kills, and I'm going to lose. I went on Hypixel just before this game, just to sort of get a little bit of jewels, and practice my PvP, and I was utterly dreadful, like, genuinely abysmal. It felt like touching the game for the first time again. So yeah, I am expecting to die to PvE, and even if I don't, I'm not expecting to do well. but but that might be a good thing. It was one thing I was thinking about, like, before this. Like, I found that when I first started playing rounds back in sort of 2017, 2018, it was one of the reasons it was so fun is because just like for me, getting a single kill was like so much more than you would expect to happen. And it felt like a monumental achievement when it did. And the fact that I went into every round with no expectations really just meant that I got to. Sorry, I'm just gonna check this working. Yeah, the fact that I went into every round with no expectations just meant that I got to savor the like journeys and the experiences, right? Rather than like one thing I've seen a lot in the UHC community is people getting really salty over rounds and like saying and like genuinely feeling bad if they or like they wasted time if they don't do well, and like I kind of have had that as well recently, which I thought was a shame because that just never used to be the case for me. I was always just there for the trip, and so I think today I've got another round later today, which I won't say what it is, but I will say that I'm even less likely to do competently in that one than I am in this. And yeah, so I think today will be a nice little exercise in going back to, the world where I was, yeah, going back to the time when it was just about the journey, and I didn't sort of like feel like I'd failed if I don't like get a kill or perform as well as I feel I should be. And yeah, so I think this is just gonna be a round to like vibe out in, I think, and see where we end up. Because one thing that has kept me coming back to UHC all these years is that every game feels like anything can happen. Every game feels like an adventure, and yeah. I mean, well, not every game is an adventure. Sometimes you die in the first 10 minutes to a creeper. That has happened to me many a time. But, you know, it's still fun to look back on those as your experiences. Yeah, I'll have to actually check what the last round I played, because I think it was that Phobia season, which was a million years ago, it feels like. And yeah, I'm sort of now just in that... I'm in that sort of weird space right now where you're not quite... You know, I've just finished... I handed in my dissertation about 2 months ago, and I'm in that weird space where it's like, you know, I'm living back at home. Room portal just outside the border, that's odd. But yeah, no, I'm living back at home, and it really just feels like, you know, you've just finished this huge adventure, which was being at university and everything that comes associated with it. I should go back for my apples, shouldn't I? And yeah, now it's just kind of that's over, and it's back to kind of where we started, just, you know, back in the hometown looking for a job. And yeah, it's not been bad at all. It's been sort of it's been a very stable time, which is kind of a strange way to describe it, but that's something I've felt I didn't really have at uni, was just that sense of like stability. You know, I have nothing really hanging over my head. I have nothing to worry about, and you know, it has been genuinely quite nice to just take a couple months and have that. And I am going to be finding a job at some point, hopefully. You know, job market these days, who knows? But I would love to do something creative, something that has something to do with the degree I graduated with. I don't. Those jobs aren't the easiest to find, but yeah. After this finishes, I'm gonna be continuing work on a certain application. Yeah, I think the problem is that the jobs you feel passionate about are very few and far between. Like, and it's very hard to force yourself into the whole. You have to force yourself into like the whole application writing process and like, you know, grinding that out. But you know, when I compare it to what I was doing before, where it was like I was writing all these stories that I was really passionate about, it is a lot harder to find that drive nowadays. I think I am going to keep my writing going. I'm gonna try and do that again fairly soon. I've needed a bit of a break just because the dissertation was 10,000 words, and that just for a while that took everything I had in terms of my writing motivation out of me, and I needed to. I really just needed a break. And I did enjoy writing the piece. It got a much better grade than I thought it deserved. Yeah, it was. It was a sort of like Lovecraft-inspired Eldritch horror piece. I probably won't talk too much about it because it's a fairly difficult concept to explain, and if I end up continuing it and publishing it, I would much rather you guys experienced it that way than through me talking about it on a recording. But yeah, it's an exciting idea. Oh, we're so back. Minecraft is so back. Caves are fucking terrifying again. Anyway, I don't have anywhere near it. I've not found like any animals. I need more food before I head down. I'm forgetting like the very basics. This is going to be a slow-paced game. I'm probably going to spend most of it in caves. I'm not feeling bloodthirsty today. And you know, whatever happens. We just need to explore until we find a source of food. Oh, chicken's in an actual room portal. Wonderful. It is turning night. Has this been looted yet? No. Sharp 5, that honestly might be a weapon worth using. Can you break gold blocks? I don't trust the AI. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to get some iron. Yeah, if there's a bit in like this cave, that would be perfect for me. I trust these guys more than Google AI. Okay, so I can't, is what I'm getting from this. Well, let's remember. Let's DM ourselves the coordinates here. And we'll come back for that gold once we have some scraps of iron. We've had an experience with an Enderman recently, which I do not care to replicate. Yeah, sorry. This always happens in rounds. I forget what I've been talking about. Oh yeah, I was talking about my dissertation. But yeah, no. I think yeah, the creative front's been a bit like down recently. I've been there's iron. Yeah, so my band released our first EP. It's the band is called Pandion. If I remember to, I'll link it in the description. The EP is titled Spirits of Old, and I wrote all of the lyrics on it, and I'm very happy with them. I'm very pleased with how that turned out. But yeah, so I basically ended up like sorry, I'll go up. Yeah, so we did our first release, which was this, you know, demo tape, just the three of us. One guy recorded all the instruments, one guy did the vocals, and I wrote the lyrics. So it was very sort of collaborative in that way. Although, you know, the instruments guy, I won't sugarcoat it. The instruments guy did like 80% of the work for sure. But yeah, so it was just like it was a really interesting thing to do. It was a really like new creative process for me that I've never done before. And we're now working on our second release, which is going to be a split with a band that I won't say which band, but it's not a band any of you will have heard of unless you're one of my metal friends who I've recommended them to and watching this for some reason. But yeah, they're a band I really love. They're a band I'm very excited to be collaborating with, and the first song that we wrote for it, that I finished the lyrics for last month, which was kind of the last big creative project I completed, is my favourite song we've ever written, and like, honestly, I know it sounds like you sound like such an asshole saying this about your own band, but genuinely I think it's one of the best, like, it's definitely one of the best songs I've heard in the genre, and that is just me, like, giving my sincere opinion. I think the guy writing the instruments did an absolutely incredible job. I think the guy writing I think the vocals, we've not got a chance to do the final recordings yet, but the demo we went for, that sounded really good. I'm gonna fight this Enderman, I think. Face your fears. So what did I do wrong last time? Oh no. Oh, I fucked it. Yeah, that. Oh, yeah, we are gone. I can't tell it. Shouldn't be able to teleport into here, right? I hope. You would hope. It hates me. It wants to kill me. But yeah, no. So sorry. The Minecraft's very distracting sometimes. Hopefully it'll like just de-aggro on its own eventually. If not, I'm screwed. Oh, I need a shield. What am I doing? But yeah, no. So exciting collaboration happening on the music front. Very, very hype. Oh my god, dude, he still wants to be dead. Oh. I don't know how Enderman AI works. If we can teleport in here, I think we just have to accept death at that point. And yeah, oh yeah, I can talk about the first EP a bit. The first EP was called Spirits of Old. We named it after the title track, and I was generally I was just writing my sort of usual nature poetry on it. Oh my god, he's here. That means I have to be near a cave, I think. Yep. Hello. I'm fucking pursued by this guy for... I didn't need it. Oh, and he dropped a pearl at the end of that, nice. We were rewarded. Am I just in the cave I would have ended up in anyway? Like, if I'd just gone straight down. But yeah, no, so yeah, the first EP, it was called Spirits of Old. It was about, yeah, nature, and most of the I think all of the lyrics on it really are just about my relationship with nature. I did some posts on our official Instagram about how each of the songs has these kind of... each of the songs is basically some kind of retelling of an experience I had in nature, and they vary across the album, but one of them was about... Yeah, track one, Onward, is a sort of fantasy story about a bunch of soldiers, you know, medieval knight type soldiers, walking into a valley filled with fog, and then all sort of going mad and killing each other, and that was, you know, that doesn't sound like an experience I had in nature, but it comes from... Oh, where do I take that off? It comes from a day I had near my hometown where I basically went out into the onto the moorlands and just saw the entire valley below me. So the village I live in is in a valley, and I just saw the entire thing below me just like covered with fog. And I just remember sitting there and thinking to myself that this feels like if some like force just came down from above, wiped the slate clean. Okay, end of the episode. Alright.